Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here with me today, especially if you're tuning in at night, maybe lying in bed trying to wind down. So, someone in our community asked a question recently, and honestly, it hit so close to home. They said, "What do I do when I'm lying in bed trying to sleep and my mind just won't stop racing? I start feeling anxious, and the more I try to calm down, the worse it gets." And if you're nodding along already, yeah, same. I've absolutely been there. You've had a long day, or you're staring down a big one tomorrow. You're tired. You need sleep. But when you finally lie down, your mind decides it's time to process everything. Worries, regrets, the grocery list, that one awkward thing you said 5 years ago, suddenly it's all urgent. And that stress, that anxiety, it only makes sleep harder. It becomes a loop, and it's frustrating. So today we're going to talk about how to break that cycle. We're going to cover why this happens in the first place, like what your brain is actually doing when it throws these thoughts at you. And then I'll walk you through 3 specific things you can do to calm your mind and actually get the rest you need. Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about something that feels really counterintuitive, but is super important. You can't force your mind to stop racing. I know, we wish we could, right? We think, I have to calm down, or I need to stop thinking about work, or if I don't chill out, I won't be able to sleep. But here's the problem. The more you try to control your thoughts, the louder they get. Classic example, don't think about a pink elephant. What happens? Boom, pink elephant, front and center in your brain. The truth is, we don't control our thoughts with force. We influence them with attention. What we pay attention to grows. It's like a toddler who says a naughty word. If we react, even with negative attention, she's probably going to say it again. Our thoughts are the same way. If we react to them, if we try to silence them, they only dig in harder. So the better move is to simply notice them. This comes from mindfulness, and it's powerful. When a stressful thought shows up, you can say, thank you mind, I see you, and then gently let it go. Just like a leaf floating down a stream. Acknowledge it, and let it pass. There's actually a technique called leaves on a stream that walks you through this. I'll link it in the show notes if you want to try it. But for now, the big idea is this. Don't fight your thoughts. Let them come, let them go. That's step 1. Now, why does this happen at night of all times? Well, your brain isn't trying to torture you. It's actually doing its job. When it brings up stressful thoughts, it's trying to solve a problem. It's looking out for you. It might sound like, did I say something dumb today? Did I prep for that meeting tomorrow? What if I forgot something? And underneath all of that is a basic survival instinct. If I mess this up, I could get rejected or fired or worse. Your brain is just trying to protect you. But here's the issue. Nighttime is not the best time to solve problems. You're not in work mode. You don't have your planner in front of you. And yet, your brain is like, hey, now's our chance. Why? Because during the day, we're constantly distracted. We're scrolling, watching, listening, multitasking. We don't give our brains time to process anything. Even on the toilet, we're staring at a screen. So when we finally stop, when we lie down and close our eyes, our brain goes, okay, let's do all the updates we've been putting off. It's like a computer that keeps delaying a software update until suddenly, it forces a restart at the worst possible moment. So here's where the real solution starts. Give your brain time to process during the day. There are a few ways to do this. Cut down on mindless distractions. This doesn't mean no social media ever. Just be intentional. Set specific times to check your feed. Use an app blocker if you need to. The goal is to create space in your day, even tiny moments, where your brain isn't being constantly stimulated. Add quiet time. This could be a walk without headphones, a few minutes sitting in the sun, or even doing chores like gardening without your phone. Let your brain wander. Let it do its mental filing. Write it down. This one's big. At the end of the workday, or before bed, take 5 minutes and do a brain dump. List your worries, your to-dos, any lingering thoughts. Just get them out of your head and onto paper. You can even create a specific worry time every day. Teach your brain, we handle this then, not at bedtime. That kind of structure tells your mind, I've got this. You don't need to remind me at 2 a.m. Now let's say you do all of that, but your brain still gets loud at night. That's okay. It happens. At that point, you've got 2 great options. Let the thoughts pass. Just notice them and let them drift like we talked about earlier. Leaves on a stream style. Get up and do a brain dump. Grab a notebook and just write. Get it out. For a lot of people, myself included, this simple act breaks the cycle. Once the thoughts are on paper, the brain chills out. But remember, try not to make a habit of problem solving in bed. Prevention is still the long-term goal. Finally, here's the third major skill. If your thoughts are still swirling, gently redirect your attention to something more restful. Here are 3 great options. Gratitude. In your mind, start listing things you're thankful for. Small or big doesn't matter. This shifts your emotional state from scarcity to abundance. Guided imagery. Picture a peaceful place, a forest, a beach, your childhood home. Or listen to a guided meditation or sleep story. Let your imagination wander somewhere safe. Mild distraction. This is one time when distraction can help. I personally like to listen to calm, dull audiobooks. Archaeology stories, for example. Other people enjoy ASMR, Bob Ross, or cozy podcasts. Find what works for you. Just make sure it's not too stimulating. The goal is to ease into sleep, not energize yourself. Okay, let's recap the main takeaways. Don't fight your thoughts. Acknowledge them. Let them pass. Make time during the day to process your worries. Create space. Use journaling. Schedule worry time. At night, redirect your focus to something calming. Gratitude, gentle imagery, or light distraction. When you practice this consistently, your brain starts to learn that bedtime equals rest time. You really can break the cycle, one gentle step at a time. If you found this helpful and you want to go deeper, I've got a full playlist on sleep and anxiety, plus some courses and tools at Therapy in a Nutshell. Come, you're not alone in this, and it is possible to retrain your mind and find calm at night. Thanks so much for listening, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next episode.